as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
First and foremost, I would describe the typical Northside student as teenagers. Whether they're at Northside or any other place, teenagers are teenagers. Northside students specifically, I would say that you have everything from your students who are really into athletics to students who are quirky and into dance or into special clubs. So there's a wide variety of interests. Again, going back to that diversity, there are so many different types of students, but I think one of the great things about Northside students is you'll see that mix, that kind of cross-collaboration of interests, whether it's academics, so your math student might also be the dance student who speaks 2 different languages or 3 different languages. So there's this wonderful, wonderful range with our students. I think I would be remiss if I didn't point out that our students are incredibly kind and supportive to each other. So we see that on a daily basis, even in the way that they've been supporting each other the last 7 months and the way that they're continuing to support each other right now. I would describe the Northside teachers and staff as super dedicated. They are experts in their fields. They're experts who are dedicated to learning and growing with teenagers. Not only that, they're dedicated to continuing to learn and grow in their practice. So our faculty and staff are incredibly supportive of our students. They're incredibly supportive of each other. And I feel like I am lucky to be able to work with such a dedicated faculty and staff on a regular basis. Last year, we didn't get a chance to celebrate our 20th anniversary, but this school has been in existence for 20 years. And I was lucky enough to be a faculty member when the school opened in 1999 and then come back as the principal of Northside. And the way in which the school has stayed true to the founding principles, and we've learned and we have grown with our students and how our student population has changed over the years. I'm very, very proud of that, and I know that in the upcoming days, upcoming months, upcoming years, the school will continue to adapt to serving the needs of students in Chicago public schools and serving the kids that are in front of us each and every day. So I'm really proud of the work that we do.
It's October 26th, 1991, Game 6 of the 91 World Series at the Metronome in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's an unlikely matchup between the Atlanta Braves and the Minnesota Twins. The Twins won the World Series just 4 years ago, but like the Braves, they weren't supposed to be here. Kirby Puckett is at the plate, and you might know what happens next on this 2-1 pitch. And for that, I'll give you a virtual high five due to your ability to use the internet. But for those of you who don't want to cheat via Wikipedia or baseballreference.com, let's get in that DeLorean and crank it to 88 miles per hour. It's time to travel back in time, or as SB Nation would say, let's rewind. The 1991 Fall Classic was far from straight chalk when it comes to the gambling mindsets of sports bettors. According to TampaBay.com, the Braves were once 250-1 odds-on favorites to win the World Series. If you bet $100 on the Twins in spring training, that was a great bet, as they were 100-1 odds to win it all. In fact, both teams finished in last place in their respective divisions the year prior. The Braves were actually in the National League West back then, and although they'd be dominant in the later part of the decade, the beginning of the 1990s wasn't friendly to Bobby Cox's team. The first year of the 90s saw the Braves finish the regular season at just 65-97, but general manager John Schuerholz saw something in Cox, and the fiery skipper become the head honcho on June 23, 1990, replacing Russ Nixon. It didn't lead to an improvement when it came to wins. The Braves were 25-41 when Nixon received the pink slip, and they finished the year 26 games out of first with Cox as the manager. Still, the players seemed to respond to the 50-year-old skipper the next season. The Braves were notably better, but a World Series appearance still seemed very unlikely on July 11th. A .500 record at just 40-40, the Braves were on the cusp of being sellers at the trade deadline. But then something happened. The Braves just refused to lose. An incredible 54-28 finish to the season saw the Braves 4 wins away from a National League pennant. They clinched the division on the second to last of the season, with the Braves remaining in first place from September 20th until the clincher on October 5th. The stunned Los Angeles Dodgers couldn't believe it. How could a Braves team who were at .500 practically halfway through the season keep them from an NL pennant? As for the Braves themselves, next came the Pittsburgh Pirates, led by Silver Slugger Barry Bonds. If the regular season was crazy enough for Atlanta sports fans to start believing, the 1991 National League Championship Series was something we probably won't ever see again. 4 shutouts took place in the series, including 3 1-0 shutouts. The Pirates were the heavy favorites to advance to the World Series. A 98-win team, the Pirates won the division by an easy 14 games. John Smiley won 20 games for the Buccos, the last time a Pirates pitcher won 20 games during the 20th century. Doug Drabick was the reigning NL Cy Young Award winner, and with Bombs and Bobby Bonilla still in the primes of their careers, there's no way that Bobby Cox's Cinderella story could still wear their gold slipper going into the championship round, right? Wrong. Tom Glavine, the 1991 NL Cy Young winner, was on this Braves team, but he actually underperformed in the series. Game 1 went to the better-seeded Pirates, a well-deserved 5-1 win to the higher seed as the Pirates scored the game's first 5 runs. Glavine was the loser in this one by walking 3 batters and giving up 4 unearned runs. Atlanta's David Justice hit a leadoff homer in the top of the 9th inning, but it was just too late as the Pirates took a 1-0 series lead. The Braves found a way to split the first 2 games at Three Rivers Stadium, with Steve Avery leading the way to a 1-0 shutout. Game 3 was all Braves. A 10-3 win as John Smoltz was the much better pitcher in the Braves' first home playoff game in nearly a decade. But games 4 and 5 were won by the Pirates, including a seemingly back-breaking 1-0 shutout victory in Atlanta. Zane Smith led the way for Pittsburgh in Game 5, and with their backs against the wall, Atlanta had to somehow win both games on the road to make their first World Series since arriving in the capital of Georgia. The Braves just wouldn't let their dream season die. Not only that, but they held the Pirates scoreless for the last 22 innings of the series. From the top of the 6th in Game 5 until the final out in Game 7, the Pittsburgh Pirates couldn't muster a single run. A 1-0 crushing defeat in Game 6 saw the Pirates 1 win away from elimination, and after the Braves scored 3 runs in the top of the first inning during Game 7, the Buccos offense went ice cold down the stretch. Steve Avery stole the show. He didn't give up a single run in his 2 starts. 16 2/3 innings pitched for the young stud on the mound, and he, of course, won NLCS MVP. But the Braves weren't the only weird newcomer to the postseason party. Just 4 years earlier, the Minnesota Twins were World Series champions. Gone were the days of Harmon Killebrew and Rod Carew, but these new Twinkies were still fan favorites. Kirby Puckett, a former junior college player, led the charge in center field. But interestingly enough, not a single player on the Twins had 100 runs batted in during the 91 regular season. The Twins weren't a team known for power. Puckett only drilled 15 homers in 1991, a huge contrast to the 1987 squad when he hit 28 homers. The 1991 Twins were scrappy, annoying, and hard to beat. Designated hitter Chili Davis was the only Twin with over 25 home runs, and the lone 20-game winner on the pitching staff wasn't future Hall of Famer Jack Morris. That distinction went to Scott Erickson. Still, the Twins cruised to an AL West Division title by commanding 8 games. And after dismantling the Toronto Blue Jays in just 5 games during the ALCS, it looked like the Twins had the upper hand for the 1991 World Series crown. After all, the Braves barely squeezed into the World Series, while the Twins looked like the far more superior team. But the World Series started anyway, with Cox proving to the rest of the world that he would become one of the game's all-time great managers. Down in an early 0-2 hole, the Braves looked like a completely different ball club when they flew back to Atlanta. 3 straight victories at the old Fulton County Stadium, including a 14-5 convincing victory over the seemingly unbeatable Twins, put the Twins in major trouble. Just like that, Tom Kelly's squad looked all but done. The problem was, they weren't. Plus, they still got to go back home for Games 6 and 7, assuming they could force a Game 7. The 1991 World Series became one of the all-time greats, and Game 6 was no exception to the rule. The Twins struck first with 2 ball players crossing home plate in the bottom of the first inning. The Braves seemed to have the momentum back after Terry Pendleton hit a 2-run bomb in the top of the 5th. Determined to play Game 7 at the old Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome, the Twins got the lead back in the bottom of the frame, and after battling to a leadoff walk, Don Gladden stole second base. A couple of flyouts later, including the sacrifice fly by Puckett, gave the Twins the lead back. But don't count these Braves out. Up by a run in the top of the 7th, Kelly allowed starting pitcher Scott Erickson to run back out there. But after a leadoff single to Mark Lemke, Kelly had no choice but turned to Mark Guthrie. Guthrie started off okay with a strikeout to Jeff Blauser, but then location and accuracy came to bite him in the butt. A walk to Lonnie Smith, including a can't-have-it wild pitch, put Kelly in a tough spot. Guthrie was able to jam Terry Pendleton, but with Chuck Knobloch playing a double-play depth, Pendleton's little nubber got enough of the AstroTurf to give him ample time to claim the infield single. Just like that, we have bases loaded, and Kelly was forced to go to the bullpen yet again. In came Carl Willis. It was also decision time for Kelly. Should he bring the infield in, bring in the corners and play double-play depth, or play double-play depth around the infield? The Twins decided to play back with the middle infield, and it cost them. Ron Gant's ground ball in between the third base and shortstop hole allowed him to beat out the fielder's choice, and the Braves were once again in business.
Gant with a good jump out of the box just beats the play.
A 3-3 tie with runners on the corners. Willis was in a huge pickle, but he threw a devastating 2-2 off-speed pitch to Davis Justice to get him to swing and miss. The lead was gone, but the tie still remained. The Twins had a golden opportunity to retake the lead in the bottom of the 8th. Puckett stole second base with 2 outs, but Shane Mack couldn't drive him in. Nobody got close to tying it in the 9th, so Braves fans had to wait until extra innings to see if their team would be sipping the champagne since relocating from Milwaukee, and the city of Atlanta had never seen a professional sports team win a championship up to this point. Atlanta nearly obtained their first lead of Game 6 in the top of the 10th. A leadoff single by Pendleton looked to be great for the Braves, but a stolen base attempt, or perhaps a hit and run, led to a slow-moving line drive and an easy double play for the Twins. So much for that potential rally. The Twins went 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 10th, so we went to the 11th. The Braves somehow got another leadoff single, this time by Sid Bream. However, Bream probably should have been at second base, if not for his oft-injured right knee. He crushed the first pitch down the first base line, but couldn't advance into scoring position. Keith Mitchell had to pinch run for him, and in this era of old-school baseball, stolen bases were more commonplace. Mitchell got caught stealing on the first pitch of Brian Hunter's at-bat, and that pretty much did in the rally. No more base runners for the Braves. Should Cox allow Alejandro Pena to pitch into the 11th? Pena might be needed for Game 7, so Cox is pretty much forced into allowing Charlie Liebrant to man the rubber in the bottom of the 11th. Liebrant probably wasn't the ideal choice. He had an ERA over 4 coming into this pitching appearance, and with Puckett leading off the inning, Cox was just praying Liebrant could force a 12th frame. And now Puckett can make history with a walk-off blast. But to understand how memorable this home run could be for Puckett, we have to know his life's history. Puckett grew up on the south side of Chicago. He was so small for center field, just 5'8", that he didn't receive a single scholarship once he graduated from Calumet High School. He actually entered the workforce right out of prep school at the Ford Motor Company. Luckily for him, Bradley University, an NCAA Division I school in the Missouri Valley Conference, gave him a shot. He then had to transfer to Triton College due to becoming academically ineligible at Bradley. However, he had what it took to play at the next level, and the Twins took a huge risk by drafting a junior college ball player with the 3rd overall pick in 1982. They obviously didn't regret taking the shrimp beef but full of energy ball player. He ended up making it to the big show in 1984 and helped lead the Twins to a World Series championship 3 years later, their first one since relocating from Washington, D.C. He never missed the All-Star game since 1986, and he was the 1991 ALCS MVP award. He was absolutely brilliant coming into this at-bat. He tripled in Knobloch, made an unbelievable catch in the 3rd inning, and has 2 of the 3 Twins' RBIs tonight. According to multiple reports, he told players in the clubhouse they could jump on his back tonight and he would carry them to victory. Well, here we stand. A 2-1 count on Puckett. It's a tie game in the bottom of the 11th. Can Puckett get on base or even crush a legendary walk-off homer to preserve Minnesota's incredible season? Or can Liebrant jam Puckett and face off against Chili Davis, who is already 0 for 4 on the night? Here comes the fourth pitch of the at-bat. Welcome to a moment in history.
The hitter swings at the arm motion.
Into deep left center for Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
The Twins went on to win a memorable Game 7 by a final score of 1-0. Jack Morris pitched an unbelievable 10-inning shutout.
Things that makes Northside really special are the people. We have an amazing student body. We have amazing faculty and staff. Our students faculty and staff come from all over the city, so we have this wonderfully diverse population of people who come together in the spirit of community and learning on a regular basis. I would also say the opportunities that our students have and our faculty and staff have also make Northside special. So being able to learn and engage with and work with people from all over the city, whether those are adults or teenagers, each and every day, and having those diverse experiences come into the same space, whether that's diversity in terms of race or ethnicity or neighborhood or cultural experiences, all of that coming together in this one space, I think, is what makes Northside very special. First and foremost, I would describe the typical Northside student as teenagers. Whether they're at Northside or any other place, teenagers are teenagers. Northside students specifically, I would say that you have everything from your students who are really into athletics to students who are quirky and into dance or into special clubs. So there's a wide variety of interests. Again, going back to that diversity, there are so many different types of students, but I think one of the great things about Northside students is you'll see that mix, that kind of cross-collaboration of interests, whether it's academics, so your math student might also be the dance student who speaks 2 different languages or 3 different languages. So there's this wonderful, wonderful range with our students. I think I would be remiss if I didn't point out that our students are incredibly kind and supportive to each other. So we see that on a daily basis, even in the way that they've been supporting each other the last 7 months and the way that they're continuing to support each other right now. I would describe the Northside teachers and staff as super dedicated. They are experts in their fields. They're experts who are dedicated to learning and growing with teenagers. Not only that, they're dedicated to continuing to learn and grow in their practice. So our faculty and staff are incredibly supportive of our students. They're incredibly supportive of each other. And I feel like I am lucky to be able to work with such a dedicated faculty and staff on a regular basis. It's very much in our name that we're a college preparatory high school. So our goal is to prepare students for post-secondary success, but we also recognize that our students take very different pathways. So we feel, even though we're preparing our students to go off to college and explore everything that has to offer, and we believe that they're well prepared for that, there are other options available, and we encourage students to pursue those pathways as well. Just as there are various pathways in the 4 years that students are here that they can take, we recognize that students are going to take different pathways when they leave here. So whether it's going the traditional college pathway or going into service or some kind of service to the community, we feel that students are well prepared based on their education and their experiences here. Last year, we didn't get a chance to celebrate our 20th anniversary, but this school has been in existence for 20 years. And I was lucky enough to be a faculty member when the school opened in 1999, and then come back as the principal of Northside. And the way in which the school has stayed true to the founding principles, and we've learned and we have grown with our students and how our student population has changed over the years. I'm very, very proud of that, and I know that in the upcoming days, upcoming months, upcoming years, the school will continue to adapt to serving the needs of students in Chicago public schools and serving the kids that are in front of us each and every day. So I'm really proud of the work that we do.
It's October 1st, 2007. Game 163 is taking place between the Colorado Rockies and the San Diego Padres. It's in the bottom of the 13th inning, a tie score at 8-8. The winner of this game gets a date with the Philadelphia Phillies in the National League Division Series. This is obviously a must-watch TV baseball game. I mean, who doesn't want to watch a one-game playoff that goes into extra innings? However, to fully appreciate what happens next, we have to know the history of both franchises. We have to understand that neither of these ball clubs have won a World Series. Even crazier, one of these teams hasn't even won a postseason series. To get a better grasp of this moment, we need to use a time machine. In other words, we need to rewind. The Rockies have Matt Holliday on third base and less than 2 outs. This is crucial because any fly ball to the outfield can theoretically send the Rockies to the National League Division Series on the sacrifice fly. However, the mere fact that the Rockies are hosting this one-game playoff is crazy to think about. Back on September 15th, the Rockies were just 76-72. Yeah, you heard me right. Just 16 days ago, the Rockies were barely above 500. So how the heck are the Rockies even tied with the Padres for the National League wildcard spot? As Al Davis would say,
Just win, baby.
just win, baby. Yeah, the Rockies have sure won a lot of games lately. An unfathomable 10-game winning streak from September 16th until September 27th saw the Rockies go from 4.5 games back of the Padres to just 1. In a twist of fate, the Rockies swept the Padres during that winning streak to get back into the NL wildcard race. But hey, that was just a lucky winning streak, right? There's no way this ball club led by Clint Hurdle could win 2 out of 3 against the first-place Arizona Diamondbacks and sneak into the playoffs, correct? And if you answered anything but yes to those questions, you'd be dead wrong. Arizona ended Colorado's winning streak during Game 1 of the crucial 3-game set, but after dominating the Diamondbacks 11-1 on September 29th, the Rockies held on for a 4-3 win on the last day of the regular season. Nail-biting wins have been nothing new to the Rockies and their fan base. One of their wins during the 12-1 finish to the regular season included a 14-inning victory over the Padres. But have the Rockies simply taken the wild card away from the Padres, or did San Diego majestically crumble down the stretch? Well, it's a little bit of both. Entering MLB game action on September 16th, the Padres were 80-67. They ended up finishing the year at 89-73. So a 9-6 record in their last 15 games is nothing to be embarrassed about from your ball players. But a 3-game sweep at the hands of the Rockies was still pretty bad, especially considering that all 3 games were at Petco Park. Also, the Padres had the Brewers down to their last strike on September 29th, but Tony Gwynn Jr. knocked a game-tying triple off Trevor Hoffman to send the game into extra innings. How brutal irony is that? The son of the greatest Padre ever quite possibly stopped you from going to the playoffs. What gets lost in the shuffle is that the Rockies were actually a third-place team in the wild card race prior to their incredible finish. The Dodgers were up 3 games on the Rockies after all the games concluded on September 15th. So what the heck happened to the Dodgers? It's hard to exactly say why they simply forgot to play baseball, but their final record speaks for itself. On September 15th, the Dodgers were 10 games over 500. By September 30th, the team barely finished with a winning record at 82-80. You can't make this stuff up. The Dodgers went from 79-69 and just 1.5 games back on San Diego for the wild card spot to finishing 7 games back of both Colorado and San Diego. Colorado literally had to sweep Los Angeles to knock the Dodgers out of the playoffs, and the Rockies did just that from September 25th until September 27th. The Dodgers might be known for playoff choking nowadays, but late season chokes are nothing new to the Dodger faithful. Anyway, back to the Padres and Rockies. The Rockies were 12-1 down the stretch, but a minor choke job by the name of Ron Burgundy allowed Colorado to host a 1-game playoff. The Padres were 2 games ahead of the Rockies on September 29th, meaning they just had to win either of their next 2 games against the Milwaukee Brewers or 1 Rockies loss the next 2 days clinched a wild card spot for Bud Black's team. The 2007 Milwaukee Brewers were actually in first place of the NL Central Division during most of the regular season, but a late surge by the Cubs, as well as a collapse, saw the Brewers outside of the playoffs for yet another year. They still played spoilers, though, and after dispatching the Padres in 11 innings on September 29th, the Brew Crew disallowed September 30th from being the Padres' clinch day. A very convincing 11-6 win for Milwaukee as the Padres had to fly from Milwaukee to Denver for a National League West grudge match. Just like that, Game 163 determined who would win the National League wild card. This was huge for Rockies fans as their favorite baseball team hadn't sniffed the postseason since 1995. Colorado began as an expansion franchise in 1993, and the Rockies earned the first ever NL wildcard spot in 1995. The Rockies fought hard in the division series against the Atlanta Braves, but the eventual World Series champion Braves took care of the Blake Street Bombers 3-1. But since then, the Rockies have always found ways to lose games. More importantly, it's their pitching staff who seemingly always lets them down. Even when the Rockies won the wild card in 1995, you probably don't know any of their starting pitchers. Kevin Ritz, Bill Swift, and Marvin Freeman were arguably their 3 best pitchers that season. Colorado was so desperate for starting pitching help that they signed Mike Hampton to an unreal 8-year, $121 million contract after the 2000 season concluded. All of the money in Major League Baseball is guaranteed, by the way, so why would the Rockies sign a pitcher to an 8-year deal? Simply put, it's hard to find free agent pitchers who want to pitch in Coors Field, the home ballpark of the Rockies where the ball hits the mile-high wind and sails out of play. If you don't remember Mike Hampton playing for the Rockies, you're not the only one. He only lasted 2 years in Denver, with his last season being a dreadful 6.14 ERA and opponents batted .313 against him. So for the Rockies to be successful, they usually need to outslug teams. But that wasn't exactly the case in 2007. Jeff Francis won 17 games for the Rockies this season. Ubaldo Jimenez was on this team, and the relatively unknown Aaron Cook posted an ERA under 4.2. In a nutshell, this surprising Rockies team can play a little small ball and outpitch teams as well. But tonight has been anything but a pitcher's duel. In a typical Coors Field shootout, the Rockies blew an early 3-0 lead. The San Diego Padres swiftly answered with 5 runs in the top of the third, and it looked like the Padres finally hit their stride in this do-or-die playoff game. And while the Rockies are unknown for playoff success, the history of the San Diego Fathers isn't a happy story either. The Padres have been to the World Series twice, but they've only been to the postseason a grand total of 5 times coming into tonight. Since joining Major League Baseball in 1969, the Padres have mostly been an afterthought in the National League West. A Coming into the 2007 MLB season, Bruce Bochy had enough with postseason disappointments, and he left for greener pastures in San Francisco. Some Padres fans felt it was treason, as Bochy led the team to division titles in 2005 and 2006. While they were back-to-back NL West crowns, the 2005 team barely finished with a winning record, and after being swept by the Cardinals in the NLDS, Bruce Bochy's team finished the year under 500 at 82 and 83. The 2006 squad was much better, but those pesky Cardinals were still too much for San Diego to handle. San Diego had home field advantage for the division series, but Bochy's crew only scored a single run in their first two postseason games. The offense was slightly awake when they entered Busch Stadium. A 3-1 win in Game 3 gave San Diego fans new hope, but it was quickly taken away during Game 4. 6 unanswered runs by St. Louis gave the Cardinals the series win and yet another postseason disappointment in Southern California. Bud Black took the 2007 job after Bochy left for the hated Giants. Led by NL Cy Young winner Jake Peavy, the Padres were in first place in the NL West as late as September 3rd. Peavy got the nod for this one-game playoff. It was his turn in the rotation since he hadn't pitched since September 26th. But for whatever reason, the best pitcher in the National League was anything but clutch tonight. 3 straight Rockies got on base to start off the bottom of the first, and after Yorvit Torrealba cranked a bomb to left field, the Rockies led 3-0 after 2 innings of baseball. Starting pitcher Josh Fogg was sent out in the top of the third to preserve the lead, but he simply wasn't up for the task. Peavy helped out his own cause with a leadoff single. Brian Giles found his way to first base with a walk, and after Scott Hairston hit a single to load the bases, Adrian Gonzalez emptied them with a game-changing grand slam. Fogg still couldn't settle down after the grand salami. Khalil Green and Josh Bard both got on base via the hit, forcing Fogg to intentionally walk Jeff Blum to load the bases. Brady Clark then made a solid contact with a ground ball to shortstop, and his speed forced the Rockies to just get the force out at second base. Just like that, it's now a 5-3 lead for Peavy and the Padres.
Matsui didn't get anything on this throw. Blum was all over him. He was a little off balance after he came across the bag to make the throw.
But Peavy just couldn't keep the ball out of the ballpark. The Rockies cut the deficit down to 1 after Todd Helton belted the baseball to right center field and gave his home fans a lucky souvenir. An amazing game so far. It's not even the top of the fourth yet, and we've already seen 3 home runs, including a grand slam. Fogg was able to get a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th inning, but Hurdle wasn't pleased with his pitcher. He gave up 10 fly balls on a night when the wind was clearly blowing out, so he decided to go to his bullpen early. Peavy wasn't much better than Fogg tonight as the Rockies tied up the score in the bottom of the 5th. An early holiday for Rockies fans as Matt Holliday singled in Tulowitzki for a 5-5 tie. Black was still confident in his young fireballer though, so he sent Peavy on the bump for the 6th inning. It was the same old story for Peavy as the Rockies retook the lead. Everybody was seemingly able to hit him tonight. Seth Smith hit the very rare pinch hit triple with 1 out. It was timely hitting all night for Colorado as Kaz Matsui got underneath the ball and delivered a sacrifice fly to center field. Another lead for the Rockies, and this time around the relief pitchers were up for the task. After relieving Fogg, the Rockies bullpen held the Padres scoreless until the top of the 8th. The Padres were able to muster just 2 hits from the 5th inning going into the 8th. Taylor Buchholz led the Rockies bullpen by going 1 2/3 innings, allowing just 1 hit and threw 12 strikes on 13 pitches. But Brian Fuentes just couldn't hold the lead. After relieving Beltroy Hawkins with 6 outs to go, Fuentes was a tad bit wild and inaccurate. Blum got the much-needed leadoff single, and although Fuentes got the next 2 batters out, Torrealba couldn't quite handle this 1-2 slider from Fuentes, allowing Blum to reach second base on the drop third strike wild pitch. On the 3rd pitch of the subsequent at-bat, Giles potentially saved his team's season with a game-tying double to left field.
A high pitch that Giles was just trying to fight off, and he did. Got pretty good wood on it, and maybe that's what fooled Holliday as it sailed over his head.
But Hairston couldn't send Giles home after that. Granted, Tulowitzki's dart from shortstop, Helton's great stretch at first base was excellent defense. Neither team could score again in regulation, so we went to extra innings. The next 3 innings were full of drama as both teams had chances to score. San Diego had runners on 1st and 2nd with 2 outs in the top of the 10th, but Matt Herges jammed Giles and got the inning-ending ground out. Colorado had a golden opportunity for a walk-off win in the bottom of the 11th. With Brad Hopp at the plate, Colorado had the game-winning run 180 feet from home, but Joe Thatcher fooled Hopp on an 88-mile-per-hour fastball to end the threat. The Padres had their own runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs in the top of the 12th, but Brian Myro struck out, and Michael Barrett grounded out to keep the score at 6-6. The Rockies went 1-2-3 in the 12th game as the game entered inning number 13. And this was quite possibly the greatest extra inning in professional baseball history. 5 total runs would eventually be scored in this inning. With everything on the line, the offenses for both teams woke up in a huge way. San Diego struck first in the top half. Giles quite possibly had the game of his life by reaching base yet again. This time it was via the leadoff walk. Hairston, who was looking to make up for his anti-RBI single in the 8th inning, came up big with a giant 2-run homer to give the Padres the lead back, their first one since it was 5-4. Julio then gave up a single to Chase Headley, so Clint Hurdle had to call on Ramon Ortiz to limit the damage. Ortiz kept the score at 8-6 with 2 flyouts and a strikeout, but the Padres were now just 3 outs away from their 3rd straight trip to the NLDS. In came Trevor Hoffman for the save. It's hard to believe that Black never used Hoffman prior to the 13th inning, but credit Black for thinking his team would have the lead in extra innings. A future Hall of Famer, Hoffman was on the last Padres World Series team back in 1998. He finished in 2nd place for Cy Young voting on 2 different occasions. His last 2nd place Cy Young finish was just last season, where he saved 46 games for the division-winning Padres. He's been very good in 2007, although his ERA has climbed a bit since last year. Still, he entered tonight with an ERA well under 3 and a 2-run cushion. Even though the Padres are on the road in a very tough environment, there's no way that Hoffman could blow this. And yet the average baseball fan was wrong again. Everything that could go right has gone right for the Rockies since the middle of September. So with that logic in mind, the hitting sticks were available to everyone in the bottom of the 13th. Back-to-back doubles by Mitsui and Tulowitzki put the tying run on second base with nobody out. And if you could believe it, another triple by the Rockies, this time by MVP runner-up Matt Holliday, put the Rockies in a great spot. For a team who was seemingly going to be fishing just 2 weeks ago, the Rockies are 90 feet away from heading to Philadelphia for the division series. With less than 2 outs, Black told Hoffman to intentionally walk Rockies legend Todd Helton. Not a bad decision, obviously, since Jamie Carroll was due up next and not Garrett Atkins. Even though Hoffman is facing the middle of the order, manager Clint Hurdle decided to have Carroll pinch run for Atkins in the bottom of the 7th. There was 1 out with Atkins at second base. While the Rockies were up by 1 at the time and needed some insurance runs, deciding to pinch run for your 5-hole hitter is always risky. The Rockies, of course, didn't score that inning and now needed the little-known Carroll to drive the ball into the outfield for a walk-off win. Carroll wasn't exactly a threat at the plate. In fact, he was a borderline disaster when it came to offense. After batting .300 during the 2006 regular season, he was a major disappointment this season by hitting just .222 in 107 games coming into tonight. But tonight was a different story. His 2-out single preserved the 11th inning rally before Hopp inevitably went down on strikes. So as of now, Hurdle's decision to put Carroll in the lineup as a substitute is starting to look okay. And with nobody out, all Carroll needs is a fly ball. But is Holliday the right guy to score the winning run on a potential sacrifice fly? Haha, absolutely not. He only stole 11 bases during the year and was caught on 4 of those attempts. However, his base running IQ was off the charts during his prime, as he stole 28 bases on 30 attempts in 2008. Well, here we go. It's the first pitch of the at-bat. Can Hoffman jam the non-explosive Carroll into a ground ball with the infield now in? Will Holliday run on contact? If the ball is hit into the outfield, can the Padres outfielders throw out Holliday and keep their team alive? Welcome to a moment in history.
To right field. Giles is there to make the catch. Tagging is Holliday. The throw to the plate. He is safe. The Colorado Rockies are the National League Wild Card winners.
Hold on a second. Did Holliday actually touch home plate? Let's look at that again. I'll be darned. I don't think he touched the plate. Michael Barrett tagged him, but the home plate umpire determined that Holliday touched home base. This was years before instant replay challenges, by the way, so the Padres had to live with home plate umpire Todd McClellan's safe call. Murphy's Law to the fullest. Whatever can go right for the Rockies has gone right. Rocktober began in the grandest of ways as Holliday's walk-off sacrifice fly run paved the way to 7 straight victories and an eventual trip to the World Series. Since then, the Padres have only been to the playoffs once. The Rockies have played in 2 more wildcard games since 2007, which concludes an extra-inning win over the Cubs at Wrigley Field.
And the Rockies have won 14 of their last 15 games to get to the postseason. Little extra effort to get it done tonight.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter! at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight, that time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. It's December 28th, 2003. The 9-6 Minnesota Vikings are playing on the road. A win in this game clinches a playoff spot for the Vikes. And with the Cardinals entering the contest with a record of 3-12, it looks like Minnesota is headed back to the postseason. The ball is placed at the 28-yard line, but with the Cardinals down by 5 and under 10 seconds remaining, a field goal does them no good here. As such, it's up to quarterback Josh McCown to heave up a Hail Mary for the incredible comeback win. But a lot is happening here. In fact, there was a lot of drama coming into this moment. The mere fact that the Cardinals still have a chance to win the game is practically unbelievable. Before we find out what happens next, we need to understand where both teams currently stand. Nothing is ever simple in football, especially when it comes to a Hail Mary attempt. Win or lose, it's coming down to the last play for both teams, and for that, we need to rewind. The Vikings have a decent record at 9-6, but for Vikings fans who remember the 2003 season, they should have a lot more wins. Minnesota was once undefeated this season. Impressively, the Vikings won their first 6 games. But things started to unravel quickly for the Vikes. After a red-hot start to the year, Minnesota dumped its next 4 in the toilet. Even more embarrassingly, only one of those 4 straight defeats was by less than 10 points. While it didn't seem to be a big deal at the time, loss number 2 of the 4-game losing streak was a critical 3-point defeat at the hands of the Green Bay Packers. This was huge because the Vikings outlasted the Packers 30-25 during Week 1. If the Vikings had won during Week 9 against the Packers, they would have owned the head-to-head tiebreaker for the NFC North Division. This means that the Vikings wouldn't need to win on the road in Week 17. But the Vikings couldn't take care of business, and the losing continued into Week 12. From 6-0 to now 6-4, now the Vikings are 9-6. And if they could have just outlasted the Bears a couple of weeks ago, they'd be in the playoffs. Instead, Charles Peanut Tillman made the signature play of his underrated career as he overpowered Randy Moss in the end zone. And now, the Vikings need a win today to clinch their postseason tickets. Both the Packers and the Vikings were 9-6 coming into Week 17, so the Vikings need a win or a Packers loss to win the division. The old saying, every game matters in football, definitely stood the test of time for the Vikings in 2003. Still, going from 6-0 to 9-6 is technically a collapse. And this was supposed to be a new era of Vikings football, and with Mike Tice as the head coach. Gone were the days of Dennis Green's Vikings blowing playoff leads or getting dominated in the tournament. Green's Vikings went 15-1 during the 1998 regular season, but they couldn't finish the deal as the Dirty Birds' Atlanta Falcons upset them at the Metrodome during the NFC Championship game. Didn't Green know the Dirty Birds, who he thought they were, but he still left them off the hook?
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
A primarily running team led by Jamal Anderson, the Falcons took advantage of a late missed field goal by Gary Anderson and then won in overtime. A crushing blow for the Vikings in 1998, but they were still good enough to get another bite at the Lombardi Trophy apple in 1999. The Vikings' offense was still as dominant as ever in 1999. While the greatest show on turf, St. Louis Rams, were the only team in the NFL with over 6,400 total yards. The Vikings still finished in top 5 in total yards at just under 5,800. However, turnovers were problematic for Minnesota in 1999. They turned the ball almost 19% of the time when they drove down the field. With Randall Cunningham struggling at QB the year before, Y2K, Green made a quarterback change and gave the keys of the offense to journeyman Jeff George. George was a former number 1 overall draft pick, and he looked the part of a franchise quarterback in 1999. His Vikings went 8-2 with him as the starting quarterback, with the Vikings earning a spot in the wild card round. They easily took care of the aging Dallas Cowboys 27-10 as the Vikings advanced to the divisional round against Kurt Warner's Rams. George was excellent on this day, but incredibly his 4 touchdown passes weren't nearly enough to outlast the Rams. A terrible day for the Vikings on defense as the Vikes gave up 49 points and 5 touchdown passes to the future Hall of Famer in Warner. If the Vikings' defense had just been moderately respectable, they probably would have advanced to the NFC title game. Jeff George finished with 423 yards passing and 29 completions, but he also had 21 incompletions. The Vikings originally trailed 49-17, so to be fair, some of George's completions came during garbage time. In 2000, the Vikings truly believed the third time would be the charm. Choosing not to retain George or Cunningham, President Gary Woods saw enough in Dante Culpepper to allow him to be the full-time starter in 2000. Even though he didn't play a single snap the previous year, the 2000 season would be Culpepper's first year as the starter and his rookie season altogether. It turned out to be a great decision as Culpepper's Vikings won 11 games in the NFC Central Division. However, the Vikings lost their last 3 regular season games, allowing the New York Giants to clinch home field advantage for the playoffs. Whether playing in the Meadowlands was the key difference maker for the Vikings is debatable, but whatever the reason, the Vikings offense looked lost and bewildered during the NFC Championship game. A 41-0 shellacking in East Rutherford, New Jersey saw Jim Fossil's Giants play on Super Bowl Sunday and the Vikings crumble in yet another embarrassing playoff defeat. This is by far the worst of the 3 consecutive playoff losses during the Dennis Green tenure, and it begged the question, if not now, when would the Vikings finally get over the hump and back to the Super Bowl? A losing record in 2001 saw the Vikings gamble and terminate the consistent winner in Green. In came his assistant in Mike Tice, and the 2003 Men in Purple were once again contenders during Tice's second year in Minneapolis. But, as was the case under Green, this Vikings core always chokes when the stage is fully lit. And here we go again. From an 11-2 start to an 11-5 finish, the 2000 Vikings blew a chance at having the Super Bowl go through the Metronome. And in 2003, the Vikings went from undefeated to being on the cusp of not even participating in the NFL tournament. Even if the Vikings don't allow the game-winning touchdown pass, the mere fact that they have to hold on against the 3-12 Cardinals is pretty darn head-scratching. But do the Cardinals have some individually talented players on offense? In 2 words, not really. While it's true that Anquan Boldin was on this team, the rest of the roster was very underwhelming to say the least. Boldin was a rookie in 2003, and the rest of his wide receiving teammates just weren't going to get the Cardinals over the top. Neither quarterback, Jeff Blake or Josh McCown, trusted any other wide receiver besides the former second-round draft pick. Consider this, Boldin was targeted 165 times in 2003. No receiver received more than 89 targets. The little-known Nathan Poole finished with just 19 targets this season, but he was the go-to receiver on this version of any given Sunday. Boldin wasn't his normal self against the Vikes, as he has just 5 receptions for 27 yards coming into this play. However, Poole was up to the task and caught all but one of his targeted throws for 58 yards. Considering that Poole finished the year with 177 total receiving yards, it's safe to say he was having the game of his season. Almost 39% of his total season production occurred today in the season finale. The Cardinals led 6-0 at halftime thanks to 2 successful field goals from Neil Rackers. But the Vikings scored 2 touchdowns in the second half, And now, the Vikes lead 17-6 with under 7 minutes to go thanks to Aaron Elling's field goal. Can the Cardinals, led by McCown, score twice in 6 minutes and 48 seconds? Insert McCown. Week 17 of 2003 is just his third career start in the NFL, but he's definitely improved from last year's rookie campaign. In the 2 games that he played during the 2002 season, he completed less than 40% of his passes and finished with a pedestrian quarterback rating of 10.2. But the Cardinals had nothing to lose after being 7 games under 500 when they entered Week 14. With his team now in the double-digit loss category, head coach Dave McGinnis gave McCown a chance by starting him in Week 15 over the veteran Jeff Blake. Despite a sack rate of under 5%, Blake's completion percentage of 56.7 this season wasn't enough to keep his job, and with the team at 3-10, it was probably time to start the young pup anyway. The Cardinals needed more than just a quarterback, though, and after losing in Week 15 and 16, Cardinals fans were thinking of a new regime and a new signal caller. The 2004 NFL Draft saw Ole Miss quarterback Eli Manning rising up the draft boards, and if the Cards and Chargers win today, Arizona would obtain the number 1 overall draft pick. The Cards were so bad in 2003 that they only won a single game in division play. But losing on purpose, aka tanking, wasn't the intended goal for Arizona late in the season. They just really stink. A team that was once 3-5 is now in danger of finishing the year with 8 consecutive losses. And for Cardinals fans, they've seen enough of Josh McCown to be happy with Eli Manning as the franchise's number 1 draft pick come April. However, McCown showed signs of promise on the drive following Minnesota's field goal. Needing a touchdown to make things interesting, McGinnis had no choice but to go for it on 4th and 6 at their own 44-yard line. Mr. Consistent Anquan Bolden made a huge catch, and his dive at the chains was enough to create a new set of downs for the home team. However, with only 1 timeout left, the Cards still had to recover the onside kick. The Vikings knew this, so they played conservatively on defense and forced the Cardinals to kill the clock with dumps and dunk passing plays. A couple of costly penalties by the Vikes allowed the Cards to keep the drive alive. Even so, McCown's touchdown pass in the red zone happened with just 1 minute 54 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Even if the Cards convert on the 2-point attempt, they still have to have a successful onside kick. It was still a big 2-point conversion attempt, and just like it's been the case their last 7 games, the Cards couldn't make a big play in crunch time. McCown dumped it off to Emmitt Smith, but E.J. Henderson greeted him in the flat for a huge open field tackle. Even if the Cards get the onside kick, they need a touchdown to win it. The Cards haven't recovered an onside kick all year, but this is also a Vikings franchise who has crumbled late in ball games the last 5 years. And wouldn't you know it, when all they needed to do was catch a kick 10 yards away from the tee, they buttered-fingered it and gave the Cards new hope. Even so, the Vikings had a 73% winning probability due to the Cards having an unproven QB and a talent-devoid roster. But Vikings cornerback Denard Walker got beat by Cardinals wideout Brian Johnson and was forced to hold him for a killer penalty. Even on defense, the Vikings can't get out of their own way. Remember, though, the Cardinals need 6 points to win. A field goal does them no good here, so the Vikings can still play a little conservative as long as the Cards don't go out of bounds to stop the clock. McCown led his offenses close to the 9-yard line, but the Vikings defense finally showed up with a big play. McCown took a sack at the worst time, forcing them to call his team's last timeout at the Vikings' 17-yard line. McGinnis is most likely getting fired on Black Monday for a lot of different reasons, but his clock management skills were also very poor. The Cards had to call a very dumb timeout early in the 4th quarter. As such, if McCown takes another sack, the Cards have to hustle to get the 4th down play in before the clock runs out. And wouldn't you know it, back-to-back sacks by the Vikings, this time by Lance Johnstone, forced the Cardinals into a 28-yard Hail Mary attempt. The Cards are lucky to have another chance as McCown got stripped, but Reggie Wells was Johnny on the spot with the fumble recovery. But McCown can't stop the clock, so after Johnstone sent him to the grass, the offense had to quickly get set and lined up. This is tough to do as the offensive line has to give McCown enough time to set his feet and deliver a strike into the end zone. Now, before we look at the final play, we have to acknowledge the year is 2003. During this time, the NFL allowed the most controversial rule outside of the infamous tuck rule. Until the 2008 season, the NFL allowed what was simply known as the force-out rule. Here is a full iteration of the rule. According to this procedure, the nearest official could subjectively determine if the receiver would have had 2 feet in bounds if not for a push-out by the defender. In essence, if the receiver had the 2nd foot in bounds but was forced out while making the catch would count and the touchdown would be awarded. This is big because any receiver with great size can position themselves in a prime position for the force-out rule to take effect. Bolden would obviously be the intended target on such a play. But considering that Poole has more receiving yards than Anquan, Poole might be the best option on a Hail Mary prayer pass. So here we go. Can the Vikings knock the ball down and advance to the playoffs? They have to win today as the Denver Broncos got absolutely destroyed in Green Bay. Or can the Cardinals snap their 7-game losing streak with an incredible Hail Mary finish? Does McCown trust more in Bolden, or will he throw it to Poole? Bolden has been one of NFC's best wide receivers during his rookie season, and a TD reception would give him over 1,400 receiving yards for the season. However, Poole has 58 yards receiving to just 27 from Bolden. In fact, Poole has more receiving yards this afternoon than Randy Moss. It's the last play of the game, regardless of what happens next. Welcome to a moment in history.
McCown for the end zone. It's caught. Nathan Poole has a touchdown.
I mean, there's nobody inside the 10. Get back, guys. Here it is. The season's on the line. 2 receivers left and right. McCown takes the snap. He steps up. He's all by himself. Fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! No! No! The Cardinals have knocked the Vikings out of the playoffs. I believe it was caught by Nate Poole. He's being mugged by his Cardinal teammates. They're Minnesota Vikings crying on the field.
I sure hope that you enjoyed our latest edition of Rewinder. Make sure to subscribe and comment below. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
When a parent sends their child to Northside, I would want them to know the degree to which the teachers are really invested in their child. I want to know when I send my child someplace that my child is cared for, and that totally happens here.
This is just really quite a unique place to learn. It's not the teacher kind of standing up in front saying, here are the facts, go memorize them. It's really about helping the students learn how to learn from each other, how to teach each other, which are more lifelong learning lessons.
Okay, I don't have the word.
One of the programs that I participate in are robotics, and it's really great to be able to collaborate on something and to see solely something that didn't exist before, and now it's only this moving kind of machine that can understand concepts and sort of do what you tell it to do. And you gain that understanding and that knowledge about how things work.
Well, Northside is an amazing institution that I've had the privilege of going to for the last 3 years of my life, and it's opened so many doors of opportunities for me, and I think it's a great place for people to really experience like the most full of their potential.
Something Northside, opened up was a program to Cambodia, and I didn't apply last year, and I was going to apply this year, but then I realized there was this other program with the same, group to Costa Rica and Panama. and I applied to that because I thought it would just be perfect. It's Spanish speaking, the environment, and traveling to a different country, which are things that I love. And I just heard back a few days ago and I got in.
One of the best things about Latin is that a lot of people consider it a dead language, and the question I'm most often asked is, why are you studying a language that no one speaks anymore? But delving into subject matter that no one else really knows, but is the basis of everything today, all of the laws and the civilization we have today, and even our language, which derives more than half from Latin. So it's just a really interesting subject matter that not many people know much about.
I can say on a personal level, having graduated from Northside as a student back in 2005, that this environment gave me the skills and it gave me the ability to be successful at the next level, which for me was going to the University of Illinois. It's what inspired me to want to be a teacher because I had excellent teachers here.
My honors U.S. history teacher has us sometimes take the desks and pretend they're properties, and like we'll have battles and we'll do like a whole Indian removal sketches. We'll act things out. It's really fun.
It's difficult to talk about the accomplishments of Northside because I think that they are so many. And there's so many accolades that Northside has gotten over the years. But I really think that the more important thing is just the richness of the whole experience. The quality of the education that every child gets, I think, is more significant than we're ranked 24th in the nation. It's really more about the individual.
Here at Northside, we're not really just learning, we're also kind of training ourselves to become leaders. We have here people who might be senators, doctors, lawyers, and maybe somewhere in there is a president or two. And I think it's important for parents to donate money or to help in any way they can, really, so that we have the chance to become something that's bigger than us now. And I think that's the greatest thing that they can do for us, is help us in our future.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for giving me the opportunity to come to Northside.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for sending me to Northside.
Thank you for believing me and supporting me all the way here. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you for believing that I could go to Northside.
Thank you very much for sending me to Northside.
Mom and Dad, thank you so much for sending me here, because I can't imagine spending my high school anywhere this great.
Thanks, Mom and Dad, for sending me to Northside.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. Hey guys, how's it going? I just wanted to try something new. I know we've done a lot of cool videos with should the White Sox trade for Mike Trout and what should the Bears do with Justin Fields in Week 1. And we like what Flemlo Raps does, but sometimes he doesn't do the athletes that I want to see. So I thought I would answer the question, what happened to David Garrard? And here goes. It's never easy to play the quarterback position at the NFL level. Couple that with being abnormally large for the position and dealing with Crohn's disease, and you have the very underrated career of David Garrard. What makes Garrard's college and NFL career so interesting is nothing came easy for him. He seemed to be a tight end who was actually playing QB. Remember, he was around 240 pounds when he stepped on East Carolina University's campus, but as we later found out, there simply wasn't anything that Garrard couldn't do. The only issue was his ball placement and accuracy, but I'm getting ahead of myself. When looking at the career of Garrard, you always think of two words: never quit. Garrard wasn't the fastest, and he certainly looked too big to play QB. The former Jaguars quarterback sometimes reminded me of Jared Lorenzen, but when the Jacksonville Jaguars needed a big play, Garrard would give you that Cinderella moment, coming out of nowhere and then getting the job done. And although his career probably wasn't as good as Mark Brunell's, he still was one of the all-time greatest Jaguar players. The Jacksonville Jaguars YouTube account lists Garrard as number 23 all-time as a Jaguar player, and I disagree with that. He should be much higher on that list, especially since he didn't always have the most talent around him. But let's not delay any further. As Flemlo Raps would say, this is what happened to David Garrard. Garrard began playing football at around 8 years old. And to no surprise to many people watching this video, many of his coaches didn't see his future at quarterback. When Garrard attended Neal Middle School in Durham, North Carolina, his coaches instead put him at fullback. He was so big that he was basically the Mike Allstott of middle school football, as he pretty much carried the opposing defenders down the field. And according to Garrard, he didn't mind playing fullback. I was happy with the arrangement because I got the majority of the carries, said Garrard. I never even thought about playing quarterback. In fact, it was his preteen and early teenager teammates who actually vouched for him to play quarterback. To test his ability to effectively play the position, his coaches would line up a handful of players 15 yards away from Garrard and tell him to zip the ball to them. After easily completing the passes, the coaches told him to put even more oomph on his throws, and according to Garrard's ego, he quote-unquote lit it up on his next several passes. And from that moment on, he was a future NFL quarterback. But Garrard playing the QB position still came with its set of drawbacks. Garrard entered the NFL when Donovan McNabb and Michael Vick were just getting their feet wet as a black quarterback in the NFL. And for people who weren't born in the early 2000s, it was very much a stereotype that coaches and GMs would stay away from drafting African American quarterbacks. In essence, drafting a black quarterback came with its controversies. Remember when Eagles fans booed at the Donovan McNabb draft selection? It's obviously dumb to point out a purely racism problem since Randall Cunningham, Dante Culpepper, Vic McNabb, and others all got their shot at QB, but black quarterbacks were still very much a small number in the NFL when Garrard was a rookie. But being an African-American quarterback was not the reason why teams didn't draft him. Rather, it was a variety of factors. First of all, being from a mid-major school certainly didn't help David Garrard's draft stock. Interestingly enough, Garrard actually played against Byron Leftwich during their college years. Their lone matchup was an amazing college football bowl game where Leftwich's Marshall team somehow came back down by 30 points and defeated Garrard's East Carolina squad 64-61 in double overtime. This memorable GMAC Bowl game was a preview of both quarterbacks playing together on the Jacksonville Jaguars, where Garrard would get the last laugh by taking away Leftwich's QB job. Garrard got the nickname the Beer Truck when he played at East Carolina University, and the name definitely suits him due to his enormous stature. He explains why he got that nickname.
Coach Logan, he said, you know what, you run down the field and people get out of the way like a beer truck that's out of control. And I ran with it.
Secondly, while Garrard's East Carolina Pirates were very competitive during his time in Greenville, North Carolina, they still weren't a dominant squad. This is important to note because one of the reasons why mid-major quarterbacks like Zach Wilson can rise on the draft board is because their team was undefeated for most of the season. The old adage, "You are what your record says you are," can sometimes define how valuable your quarterback play is to the team's overall success. In layman's terms, Wilson's undefeated BYU squad, until their loss to Coastal Carolina, proved to some NFL draft scouts that he's the real deal at QB. Garrard, you might ask? His best season at East Carolina was 9-3, which included ECU defeating the number 13 ranked Miami Hurricanes that season. A very good record at 9-3, but it was still a far cry from Alex Smith's undefeated season when he played quarterback at the University of Utah. Regardless of the reason why Garrard fell in the draft, the Jaguars took a chance on him in the 4th round, and they were rewarded with a fairly decent quarterback. Despite being diagnosed with Crohn's disease in January of 2004, the former ECU Pirate ended up getting honored for the 2009 Pro Bowl, won a playoff game, and even finished with just over 16,000 passing yards in his career. If you're not familiar with Crohn's disease, here's the SparkNotes summary of the illness. Crohn's is an inflammatory bowel disease that causes inflammation of the person's digestive tract. This disease can lead to abdominal pain, severe diarrhea, fatigue, weight loss, and malnutrition. While not usually life-threatening, this IBD can lead to kidney stones, inflammation of the liver, and inflammation of the eyes. To sum up, it certainly isn't easy playing the hardest position of the 4 major American sports and being malnutritious, aka having Crohn's disease. Thankfully for Garrard, Crohn's was very treatable in 2004 and is even more treatable today. The way to generally treat Crohn's is with immunosuppressants and steroids, although surgery might be required on a case-by-case basis. And that was the unfortunate case for Garrard, as he had to have surgery in June of 2004 to remove almost 12 inches of his intestines. Despite that intensive surgery, Garrard ended up staying in the National Football League until 2003, and he did more than just stay in the NFL. He showed why he earned the starting job from head coach Jack Del Rio. In the entire history of the Jaguars, only 3 quarterbacks have won a playoff game, Brunell, Garrard, and Blake Bortles. It's not the most impressive list of QBs, but it's still obvious that Garrard had a much better NFL career than his former teammate in Leftwich. Garrard flourished best when Del Rio allowed him to best utilize his dual-threat mentality. While his numbers aren't very flashy, Garrard gave Jacksonville stability at the position once they had to move on from Mark Brunell. Even with his so-so passing numbers, Garrard still led the NFL in third down passer rating during the 2007 season. His 2007 Jaguars advanced to the divisional round, where they had to face off against the 16-0 New England Patriots. We all know how that game turned out, as the Patriots wouldn't lose a single game that season until Super Bowl 42. But as good as Garrard was, he just wasn't consistent enough to stay in the league. His QB rating never went above 81, and his last 3 years were very mediocre. His 2008 season, his third to last one in the NFL, saw him throw just 15 touchdown passes to 13 interceptions. His passer rating finished just underneath 60. His 2009 season was even worse, with a QB rating of 54.4, and although he showed flashes of greatness in 2010, his 23 TD passes to 15 interceptions proved to the Jags it was time to draft the future in Blaine Gabbert. Gabbert turned out to be a bust, but it also turned out that the Jags still made the right decision in cutting Garrard. The beer truck's engine seemed to die out once he arrived in Miami. He had arthroscopic knee surgery during the 2012 training camp, and the Dolphins were forced to release him due to injury problems on September 4th. In a span of 3 years, from 2010 to 2013, Garrard suffered multiple knee injuries, as well as undergoing surgery on his herniated disc. He attempted a comeback with the New York Jets in 2013, but that inevitably fell through as he suffered through complications with knee swelling. He retired as a Jaguar in March of 2015. So what happened to Garrard? Well, he outplayed his original draft position, but he showed at times why he lacked the arm talent and decision-making to become a star in professional football. His passes lacked touch at times, and he sometimes forced the ball in unnecessary tight windows. However, Garrard's life has been anything but unsuccessful. He's currently a spokesman for 121 Financial Credit Union, and he's a role model for kids at the Painted Turtle Camp. The Painted Turtle Camp is specifically made for kids having to endure the issues of living with Crohn's disease. Garrard never became as good as Mark Brunell, but he was certainly a better QB than Leftwich and Bortles. But most importantly, Garrard overcame the problems of Crohn's disease and being slightly big for the position. The beer truck might never become the next coming of Big Ben, but I don't think that Garrard has any regrets about his NFL career. And that's it for today. Make sure to comment below if you liked the video and subscribe to our channel. Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
You probably know the underdog story of Kurt Warner. The future leader of the greatest show on turf was a former grocery store bagger who played his college ball at the University of Northern Iowa. He finished his career in 1993. He went undrafted, and he had to continue his career by slinging the pigskin in the Arena Football League in NFL Europe. He was absolutely dominant in both leagues, leading him to catching the eye of the St. Louis Rams. The Rams signed the ageless rookie, where he spent the 1998 season as the team's third-string quarterback. What you might not know is that another team from a certain Illinois city liked Warner's play in Iowa and wanted him to try out for the franchise. Yes, that's correct. The gunslinger of the greatest show on turf could have easily been leading the offensive version of the Monsters of the Midway. According to the legendary Barstool Sports podcast Pardon My Take, Warner admits that the Chicago Bears called him up.
So the Bears called me and said, hey, we want to bring you in for a workout. And I am like, anytime, any place, I am in, I'm coming.
This was during his Arena Football League prime with the Iowa Barnstormers, so it was going to be a short flight from Cedar Rapids to Chicago. It was going to be a Friday workout at Hallis Hall in Lake Forest. However, the flaky Warner forgot about a very minor detail. His fiancée and current wife, Brenda, reminded the Bears management that he had some fairly important weekend plans. They were getting married that weekend. The Bears, of course, understood that he couldn't bail out on his wedding plans for just a workout, so Michael McCaskey in Chicago decided to schedule the workout the next week. However, Warner forgot about the Jamaica honeymoon that week, so he had to call the Bears back yet again to reschedule.
Again, she gives me the look, and I'm like, now what? We're going on our honeymoon next week. Yes, we are going on our honeymoon next week. I had to call the Bears back a second time and tell them, okay, sorry, screwed up, but any other time, I promise you, I am in to work out.
To play devil's advocate, it was irritating that Warner had to reschedule the workout on 2 different occasions. That being said, it wasn't as if he was blowing off the Bears. His excuses were very valid reasons. As fun as it is playing in the NFL, family comes first. What happened next can probably be attributed to the curse of the Chicago Bears quarterbacks. As if the football gods hate Chicago enough, an unknown bug took a bite out of Warner's right elbow. His elbow got swollen to the size of a grapefruit. To this day, Warner still doesn't know if it was a bug or a spider. The doctors say it was maybe a centipede or a spider.
The night before we left, we were in Jamaica. The night before we left our honeymoon, I woke up the next morning and my throwing elbow was swollen about the size of a grapefruit. And, to this day, we still don't know what it was that bit me. They said maybe a centipede or a spider. They really don't know.
Anyway, the Bears heard enough from the former NFL Europe star. This was Warner's third excuse not to show up for a mandatory workout, and although his 3 excuses were all valid, the Bears felt confident in their current quarterback situation not to give Warner a 4th chance. The old saying goes, 3rd time's the charm, but for the Bears, the 4th time might have been the charm. According to the future Hall of Fame quarterback, the Bears hung up and never called him back. 2 weeks later, the Rams had a need for a 3rd-string quarterback and worked him out. He passed the workout with flying colors. In 1999, Trent Green tore his ACL during the preseason, and the little-known backup in Kurt Warner ended up leading the 1999 St. Louis Rams to a Super Bowl victory by winning Super Bowl MVP. Since his infamous bug bite, Warner played in 3 Super Bowls, winning one of them. He won 2 MVP awards. Also, according to us at Sports Broadcast Solutions, we consider him the best quarterback in both Rams and Cardinals franchise history. You can watch that video both above and in the comments section below. How did the 1998 and 1999 seasons go for the Bears? As you would expect, not so great. Moses Moreno was the Bears' 3rd-string quarterback in place of Warner for the 1998 season. The Bears had so many injuries in 1998 that Moreno actually started a game that season. If not for a villainous bug, Bears fans would have theoretically seen the 3rd-string Warner do his thing out on the gridiron. In 1999, the Bears selected future quarterback bust Cade McNown with the number 12 overall draft pick. McNown was one of the worst quarterbacks in Bears history. During his rookie season in 1999, he completed just 54% of his passes. It just makes you wonder, would the Bears have made it to the Super Bowl in 1999 and 2001 if Warner was their starting quarterback? Probably not, since the Rams also had Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, and Ricky Proehl at wide receiver. Incredibly, Proehl could have been Warner's teammate with the Bears, but Chicago let Ricky walk in free agency after the 1997 season ended. Proehl was on the Rams during their Super Bowl runs in 1999 and 2001. What makes this story even more interesting is the Cleveland Browns could have acquired Warner during the 1999 expansion draft. The Rams made him available to be drafted since they put all of their trust in Trent Green. However, the new Browns just didn't see enough in Warner's game film to try him out as a backup quarterback. I guess that they really liked Tim Couch. Since making their very dumb decision in 1998, the Bears have still never had a quarterback throw for at least 4,000 yards in a season. The Browns, who became an expansion franchise in 1999, have won only 1 playoff game. They've only played in 3 total playoff games since passing on Kurt Warner. By the way, Tim Couch didn't start in any of those 3 playoff games. The best quarterback in Bears history since 1998 is arguably Jay Cutler. Although Cutler won just 1 playoff game, Cutler's playoff win came against the Seahawks, who had a record of 8-9 coming into the divisional round. As for the Browns, the jury is still out on Baker Mayfield. Are the Browns and Bears cursed when it comes to finding a quarterback?
Next up, event number 4, Varsity, 200-yard freestyle. Your mark.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
First and foremost, I would describe the typical Northside student as teenagers. Whether they're at Northside or any other place, teenagers are teenagers. Northside students specifically, I would say that you have everything from your students who are really into athletics to students who are quirky and into dance or into special clubs. So there's a wide variety of interests. Again, going back to that diversity, there are so many different types of students, but I think one of the great things about Northside students is you'll see that mix, that kind of cross-collaboration of interests, whether it's academics, so your math student might also be the dance student who speaks 2 different languages or 3 different languages. So there's this wonderful, wonderful range with our students. I think I would be remiss if I didn't point out that our students are incredibly kind and supportive to each other. So we see that on a daily basis, even in the way that they've been supporting each other the last 7 months and the way that they're continuing to support each other right now. I would describe the Northside teachers and staff as super dedicated. They are experts in their fields. They're experts who are dedicated to learning and growing with teenagers. Not only that, they're dedicated to continuing to learn and grow in their practice. So our faculty and staff are incredibly supportive of our students. They're incredibly supportive of each other. And I feel like I am lucky to be able to work with such a dedicated faculty and staff on a regular basis. Last year, we didn't get a chance to celebrate our 20th anniversary, but this school has been in existence for 20 years. And I was lucky enough to be a faculty member when the school opened in 1999 and then come back as the principal of Northside. And the way in which the school has stayed true to the founding principles, and we've learned and we have grown with our students and how our student population has changed over the years. I'm very, very proud of that, and I know that in the upcoming days, upcoming months, upcoming years, this school will continue to adapt to serving the needs of students in Chicago public schools and serving the kids that are in front of us each and every day. So I'm really proud of the work that we do.
Let's go. Move. Move. All right. Like that.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Made from an athlete's mind for all sports minds. Level Up Branding is a unique sports marketing and branding agency, offering athlete management, brand management, and so much more. We are powered by experience, currently serving athletes in the WNBA, MLR, NFL, and college sports. We are looking to take on more clients because everyone deserves a shot at their dream. Our goal is to help others by inspiring one person at a time. Level Up Branding was founded by Lauren, who was and still is an athlete. She understands the importance of being a well-rounded and built individual. It takes an athlete to know an athlete. We are built different. There is so much more to an athlete than what is seen on the field or the court. We make it a priority to understand our athletes. We want to know and understand our clients' values, motives, passions, and future goals. At Level Up Branding, we believe in helping others succeed. We believe in giving back. We believe in family. You are more than an athlete. Level Up Branding was founded based on the sheer passion of sports, community involvement, and the sense of belonging to a community. We were created from an athlete's innovative mindset and experience, and here to offer our services to like-minded athletes.
Hey, this is Sarah Greenfalk here of Psych Edge. Do you want to learn how to improve your performance, improve your confidence, improve your resilience? Coming this fall, Psych Edge is releasing 5 workshop classes that will give you the skills to accomplish your goals with increased confidence and resilience. This is your opportunity to learn all the main psychological pieces of mental training in one place, plus the process I've developed to build these skills. Go to my website, psychedge.club, and sign up for my monthly blog emails, which will include the updates on the class release.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
Hey, this is Sarah Greenfalk, owner of Psych Edge. How would you like to learn how to manage your emotions and reactions in order to enhance your performance and be successful in life? I coach and counsel student athletes, performers, and professionals, giving them the mental skills and mindsets to build confidence and resilience. My background in physical therapy, massage therapy, personal training, and 15 years of counseling give my clients an advantage. So if you are wanting to be recruited, perform better, or struggling with life balance, anxiety, or depression symptoms, I will stand by you until we reach your goals. Contact me today, sarah@aimtogrow.com, and be sure to visit my website, psychedge.club, for your monthly blog on mental health, sport, and performance psychology tips.